Hello, everybody. Stuart here. I just wanted to talk to you guys for a couple minutes. God was leading me recently to share a verse with you, and I do hope that since we met last, that everybody is staying safe out there in this current season that we are in, and that you guys have all been blessed this summer, and that all is going well with you. Romans chapter 12, verse 1 says, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable to God, which is your reasonable service. I feel like God gave me just a couple thoughts to share in regards to this verse. And yes, I do know that there's more to this section and context, but there's enough here that just we can be encouraged by just what this one verse tells us. And so, just a thought for all of us, are we kind to ourselves? And I know that that can sound kind of fluffy and just kind of a positive thinking, happy thoughts kind of thing. But we see a couple things important in this verse itself. God here tells us to present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable to God, which is your reasonable service. So, just a couple things. God's word in a few different areas tells us to be healthy to a certain degree. It says, like it does here, to present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to God. And so there are certain aspects of our lives being a Christian where we are to try to have a healthy lifestyle. We are to try to do what we can to put ourselves in a situation where we can faithfully serve God. And over time, a lot of us have learned that if we are not healthy and kind to our bodies and even our mind at times, that we will be in a situation where we will not be able to fully serve God and do everything that He's called us to do. If we are tired all the time, if we eat junk food all the time, then we're not gonna necessarily be feeling like we're ready to serve and go out there and work hard and do everything that God has called us to do. So there is certain aspects where we do need to be healthy. We don't need to be like health nuts, and we don't need to be at the gym for like 5 hours a day, but we should try our best to be as healthy as we can be. In what I know, a lot of us have those busy schedules, and so just try to be as healthy as we can be so that we can, like it says here, present our bodies in a holy and well pleasing way in the Lord's eyes. And so, if we do think about why is it important to be healthy? It is all to glorify God. He wants us to serve Him. We should always strive to work on those spiritual disciplines in our life as well. We should always be learning God's Word more. We should always be in prayer and working on those spiritual disciplines. But it's also important to keep in mind whether we are good to ourselves as well, whether or not we are kind to our bodies, to our mind. There's also an aspect where it's not just about physical health, but mental and spiritual as well. So we should not always be thinking down upon ourselves. We should be thinking of ourselves in the way that God sees us as well. So I would just encourage all of us to work on those spiritual disciplines, to always be growing in areas like our devotional life, our prayer life. When it comes to physical, our body, we should be trying to treat ourselves well in that way and to just try to be as healthy as we can be. But also know that in everything in life, it's about glorifying God. So we don't just do these things for ourselves, but ultimately it is to glorify God. So I will read it again just because it's a good verse. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable to God, which is your reasonable service. So let's get out there and present our bodies and glorify the Lord in a way that is well pleasing to Him. And I hope that you all have a blessed week, and I will talk to you soon.